Welcome into Arsenal Report, and we have a massive weekend ahead of us going to Anfield. Trip to Anfield and trip to Old Trafford done 3 weeks into the season doesn't sound so bad, especially if we can get a result from that match. And today, we're going to look at the starting lineup, the different variations the lineup might look like. Obviously, we're going to be without Bukayo Saka. We're going to be without Martin Odegaard, most likely. I would say 95% chance without Martin Odegaard. But Eze is in. So what does that lineup look like? What does the defense look like? What does the midfield look like? And what does the attack look like? So let's not waste any time here and just start looking at it right away. And listen, this to me is probably the most preferred lineup, but it's a little bit more attacking than probably we would imagine wanting to do at Anfield. You got Eze here in the 10, Martinelli out on the left, Madueke out on the right, and Gyökeres through the middle. Defensively, Raya, obviously, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, obviously, Zubimendi and Rice in the double pivot, obviously. Like this right here, this 6 is not going to change no matter how you spin it. If these players are fit, this 6 is our core. Now at left back, I'd assume it's going to be Calafiori because he's been playing so far. I think Miles Lewis-Kelly had a little bit of a tough preseason. For those who remember, he was just not... He looked a little fatigued. Let's put it that way. He looked a little bit fatigued. And I think Calafiori and Martinelli, we've seen, is working a lot better than Miles Lewis-Kelly and Martinelli. So in this situation, I'd expect, Rice will get a little bit further forward at times. Calafiori obviously will gallop into these areas, and Timber as well on the overlap. Eze in the 10 is where he most prefers to be. But again, it's a little bit more attacking. You have Madueke and Eze, who neither are spectacular pressers, neither are spectacular out of possession, and it leaves us a little bit more susceptible to getting killed on the counter. The thing about Liverpool is their midfield is incredibly weak. We've seen it so far in both matches against Bournemouth and against Newcastle. They can lose control of a match very easily. Now, Anfield against Arsenal, their biggest title contenders, that's going to be a loud place. It's going to be tough for us. It's going to be like Old Trafford, although we seem to show up for Anfield a lot better than we do for Old Trafford since Arteta has come in. There's a couple other ways this could shake out. If you don't want to play 4 attackers, quote unquote, let's say this, we calling this 4 attackers. You could go this route, right? You could go back to the formation we've been playing now for a couple of years where you have a lone 6, you've got 2 8s on either side of him, and then you're attacking 3. Now, this is a really interesting idea to me because Mourinho is such a good duel winner. Everybody knows that. Like, he is just so strong in 50-50s, winning the ball in midfield, such a good aerial threat when you want to play long, a really good box crasher if you're going to play off of Gyökeres. If Eze is going to drift in here a little bit more at times, you'll have Calafiori on the overlap. It does allow, right? Like, because at times what's going to happen is Eze is going to come centrally, Calafiori is actually going to come out into this left wing spot, and then you're going to have something that looks a little bit more like this in build-up, right? Like Raya will often actually step in here, Gabriel will get a little bit wider in build-up. Timber holds this width, and then you're playing off Zubimendi, and it kind of just looks like a normal lineup, right? It doesn't look so dissimilar from this in the build-up because Calafiori is kind of going to take up this left wing spot. Eze's going to come a little bit more centrally. It probably looks a little bit more like he's a little bit closer here. Calafiori and him will switch at times, Eze and Calafiori. Mourinho is definitely going to get into the box. My feeling is this is closer to what we're going to see. It could be Miles Lewis-Kelly in midfield. Like, clearly this Hincapié deal means that Mikel Arteta sees Miles Lewis-Kelly's future in midfield, although we haven't seen him play midfield yet, really, for the first team in a competitive match. So I'm not sure that Arteta would just throw him in there in midfield at Anfield for the first time. But, like, I guess in theory, this could be Miles Lewis-Kelly as well. You could see Miles Lewis-Kelly here, and you could see Calafiori, I guess, as your left winger. I think that's also super unlikely. This, to me, is probably the most likely starting lineup. I think Madueke is all but a guarantee to start off the right. That's where he's more comfortable. Saka is out. It just makes sense. Like, I would say pretty much this group, you're only talking about 2 positions here that are up for consideration. Who's going to be your left winger and who's going to be your left center mid or 10? And obviously the other option is Ethan Nwaneri steps in. And Eze comes out here on the left-hand side. Now, I kind of do think that Arteta's going to want to see Martinelli start because Martinelli is so strong off the ball. Martinelli is one of our best players out of possession. He's a great presser. He's so good at helping out when he comes back down the wing, right? Like, he's really good at helping in these situations. When you got an overlap here, I think Madueke really, really struggled in those situations against Manchester United, whereas Martinelli's much stronger there. Eze can do that work, but again, Eze doesn't really want to be as wide as this. Eze wants to be in the half spaces. So to me, it's not going to be this. I don't think Ethan's going to start strictly because he still has a lot of work to do out of possession as well. And if you have all three of these players aren't great out of possession, going to a place like Anfield, that's going to be a really tough ask. The more I talk about it, I came in prepared to be like, this is probably our lineup with Martinelli and Eze in the middle. But the more I talk about it, it's more likely going to be this, or realistically, Eze may not start at all. This could just be Martinelli right here. I mean, I think, Eze's only going to have a week of training with the Arsenal first team. I mean, he's in full shape. He had a full preseason. He was excellent in preseason. He played for Crystal Palace in the Community Shield. Like, he's fully match fit. So it's just a matter of if he's ready to play for Arsenal. It's a matter of Arteta trusts him to come in and play for Arsenal at Anfield for his first match. He may protect him a little bit. He may have him come off the bench, in which case this will be the lineup. It's a very similar lineup. Like, we know this lineup. We've seen this lineup a few times. Like, obviously not with Zubimendi, but this midfield's athletic enough. Even though it's Merino, Rice, and Zubimendi, there's enough athleticism here with Rice and Zubimendi, and then Merino being such a good duel winner. And again, Merino's going to be a little bit further up here in this setup. The other thing is, I think if we go with this, you may see Miles Lewis-Skelly start here at left back, but then you're losing out on attack a little bit more than you might want to. So it's a very interesting situation. We'll keep an eye out here over the next day or so before tomorrow's video to see if there's any more news on what that lineup might look like, see if Arteta says anything in his press conferences. But this is Arsenal Report every single day. It's not just transfer rumors. It's not just squad building. It's tactics. It's looking at what's going to happen on the weekend, predicting scores, everything Arsenal's here at Arsenal Report. So make sure to subscribe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.